Hello everyone, welcome to the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show. We have a great show tonight. We have Mylee Harmon and Kira Bonanno from the Redbank Valley girls basketball team and assistant coach Michael Dawson, also from the Redbank Valley girls basketball team. Unfortunately, Chris Edmonds, the head coach, could not be here tonight, but we wish he could have joined us, but he can't. But we're going to talk about a lot of different topics. We're going to talk about the tremendous 4-year run that these two have had. We're going to talk about some of the milestones that Mylee Harmon has accomplished. We're going to talk about some of the milestones that Kira Bonanno has accomplished. We're just going to talk about how the program has just been so consistent and just so good over not just these 4 years, but even beyond. So when we come back, though, we're going to do the Durstein window and door prize wheel. Mylee Harmon's going to be our first victim. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with the prize wheel, and then we'll get into the show with these fine athletes. We're out.
You can afford a gorgeous, custom-designed hardwood Kales kitchen for a lot less than you'd pay at a DIY store. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. At Kales, there are never middleman markups or hidden charges that can add 40%. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. That's FactoryDirectKitchens.net.
At Clarion County Community Bank, you're more than just a number. With personalized service and modern conveniences, they make banking easy. Clarion County Community Bank, where community comes first.
Show.
Hey, check out this all-new 2024 Chevrolet Trax 1RS in cacti green. Let's talk about some of those safety features. We have blind spot monitoring system, we have forward collision system with alert and brake, and we have lane departure warning as well. How about the gas mileage?
30 miles per gallon average. Yeah, it's great.
People really love those safety features like blind spot monitoring, forward collision warning with alert and braking, and lane departure warning.
Bumper-to-bumper warranty and the 5-year 60,000 mile powertrain warranty.
And check out the clarity on this backup camera on this 11-inch touchscreen.
It's great.
Can you believe you get all the features like heated steering wheel, heated seats, remote start, power sunroof, all for $24,900?
It's a great value in the new Chevrolet.
Hey, check out this Glacier Blue RST Silverado 4x4 Z71 four-wheel drive, 5.3 liter V8. It's a really nice, sharp truck. All LT and RST Silverados have this same interior. Got this really large touchscreen display, built-in Google Maps, heated seats, automatic climate control, heated steering wheel. We have a backup camera, really great display.
And all the safety aspects. Adaptive parking, adaptive braking, pedestrian braking, blind spot mitigation.
Follow us to Redbank Chevrolet.
Hello everyone, we're back on the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show. I'm Mike Kilroy, and we're here at the Durstein Window and Door prize wheel with Mylee Harmon. Give it a good spin, see what you can win. Some good prizes up here. Let's see how lucky you are. There goes bankrupt, that's good. We were just joking about spin again. We were hoping we weren't gonna have to spin for the whole hour, but spin again, one more time. See what you got. I'm gonna have to intervene here. Cousin Basil gift card. That's a good prize. Good job, Mylee. Let's come back over here and we'll start talking about all the good things that we've done here in your career. All right. First of all, thanks again for joining us on the show today. It's great to have you guys. Wish Chris could have been here, but he had other engagements, so he couldn't be here. But we got you guys here, and Mylee, we'll start with you. You've had a few days to kind of let it all sink in. The great career you had, the great run you guys have had. What's kind of going through your mind? What was kind of the thoughts when the season ended, and a few days later when you knew, your career, which went by like that, had come to a conclusion?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely hard. Like the seniors, when you're a freshman, they'll tell you it goes by like a flash. Like don't move it too quick. Like don't look past anything. Like enjoy every moment. And you're just like, well, I have 4 years, and then you get to senior night, and then you get to your last game, and it actually flew by. And I mean, it's a hard feeling because I know I'm not pursuing basketball in any way in college, so it's really over. So I mean, it's hard. It's a hard feeling to grasp. It's definitely tough, but
Yeah.
I'm just dealing with it day by day.
Yeah, Kira, same question for you. 4 years of playing basketball for Redbank Valley, when it came to an end, obviously very emotional, but obviously you can look back with some great memories and great successes.
I mean, yeah, whenever I was a freshman, I thought, oh, I have so much time, but then it got to this year, and I'm like, wow, like, time really flew, and now we're seniors, and we, like, don't really have time anymore.
Yeah.
And it was a lot different, like, after, when we came to Monday, and we didn't have practice anymore, and I just had to go home, and, like,
Yeah, kind of weird, right? Because for 4 years you're used to having a routine, right? You do certain things certain days, you go in, have certain things you have to do, and then all of a sudden there's nothing left to do. Yeah, that must have been pretty disconcerting for that Monday, right?
I mean, yeah, it just made me think, like, wow, it's really over now. Like, there's no more practices, no more games, no more, like, team bonding activities. Like, yeah.
So when did it start kind of sinking in that it was coming close to an end? Was it 2 weeks ago, when the calendar turned to February and you knew, it was, playoffs were coming, that kind of thing?
Yeah, we talked that one time when there was an article out that I was in denial about my season ending, and I really was. Like, I'm not going to play my last basketball game ever, and I really thought, like, this isn't ever going to end. And then it got to, like, last week, and I was like, wow, this could be my last practice. And then we ended up beating Rochester, and I was like, okay, I have more. And then it was, like, practice for Pennsylvania, and I was like, wow, this could be my last practice. And it ended up being my last practice. And then, so it was like that night I was kind of like, wow, like, really, tomorrow could be my last day being a high school basketball player. And so it really just sunk in last week. But before that, I really didn't think much about it because I knew we had more ahead.
Yeah, and Coach, these two, I mean, what can you say about these two, what they've been through the program for 4 years? They put out just a tremendous package of their stats and kind of their accomplishments on Facebook. They did a great job doing that, keeping people informed of not just the basketball program, but the soccer program that you coach there. So I give you props for that. But what can you say about those two and just what they meant to this program? Obviously, two players that people are going to be talking about long after their careers are over.
Yeah, it's guys, bittersweet. You enjoy coaching them for the 4 years, and then you see the body of work that they put in, and then like the accolades that came with it. It's just been I guess rewarding on the back end of it. They're going to leave some huge shoes next year with all the rebounds and points and steals and assists and stuff that they put together this year. But yeah, it's been fun for 4 years.
Yeah. You've been with the program for a while.
Mm-hmm.
When they were freshmen, what was your first take on Mylee and Kira when they came into the program?
I mean, we do a pretty good job of like with the varsity group of like trying to like also pay attention to the junior high crew too and go to a couple of their games too. So we knew what we were getting into, and they're two workhorses. You saw them in summer league when they first got there. They're ready to put in the work, and then that's just the attitude they kept for year after year after year. And if there was like something in the off season, they were going to be there. If there's something in the season, outside of like the confines of a practice, getting into a gym and shooting, getting some extra shots in there, going to do it. So, yeah, it's been a blast.
Yeah, I saw some pictures from I think it was 8th grade or maybe 9th grade. Little Mylee and Kira. She kind of caught up to you, Kira, but I know you guys have been friends for a long time. How special was it to experience this success and this run over these 4 years together?
Yeah, it's definitely been great. Like you said, we've been friends since 3rd grade. We've been playing basketball since 5th grade. So it's always just been me and Kira. There's been people in our grade that have like come and gone from from basketball, and it ended up, being me and Kira our senior year. And it's just been great to be able to grow up with her and just, through everything, through AAU, we were on multiple AAU teams together, school ball, it's just always been me and Kira. And that's just a bond that I never want to lose, and I feel like has been, a really big part of my career, like off the court.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on kind of going through this experience with a very close friend?
Yeah, it definitely helps to like have someone, because I know I've always had someone there for me, and like playing AAU has helped us because like that's like all summer, so we've spent like all summer, all school year, like for like countless years together. So
yeah, and I know you and I have talked about little Mylee with the short hair and the braces, how far you've come. And you've talked about you didn't expect a lot of this stuff when you were a freshman. Looking back on that now, what would you tell the little freshman Mylee about what you were able to accomplish at the end of your career?
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously just dream big. Like, I went to games when I was younger, and I saw girls playing, and I saw Tara, and I was like, I want to be like the Hin players. I want to be like them. I want to be like Olivia Huffman. I wanted to be like the people that were ahead of me, and I came in, and I thought I was going to be a role player, and then I was. I came in my freshman year. I didn't start. I was a role player, and I just, accepted that role, and I excelled in that role like I was supposed to, and then I got another opportunity sophomore year, and I started, and you just kind of mold into the role that you're given, and you just make the most of it, and then, obviously great things come from it.
Yeah, you were that first person off the bench, and I remember covering the first couple of games of your freshman year, and then at the end at Tippin, when you were just had the big games and big moments. I remember the first time I interviewed you, I'm like, I'm going to interview this little freshman with braces, and you were a great interview when you were a freshman all the way up. So I just want to tell you that. But,
thank you.
But how far do you feel like, when you look back at yourself as a freshman till now, it must be like night and day, right? Look, just you probably don't even recognize yourself.
Yeah, both physically and mentally. Like you said about she used to be like,
taller over
2 feet taller than me, and I've definitely, put on some height, put on some muscle. So looking back at that little girl that was like a twig, like her swimming in her shorts, like, and now I'm just like a power, like, inside, outside. So it's really like that. And physically, I can see a lot of differences, and then obviously being mentally tough, like, you go through a lot, whether you're a great player, whether you're a bad player, whether anything, you're always going to get crap whenever you're a high school player. So I feel like, I've really developed a lot of strength that way, and I've really been able to take a lot, because being a good player, you're going to take a lot. So I feel like mentally I've really grown a lot too.
Yeah, and Kira, your path was a little different. You kind of worked your way up. You kind of climbed the rungs of the ladder to get to being the star you were last year and this year, especially inside. How satisfying was that to just kind of work your way up, kind of keep grinding, keep working to get in the position where you had 666 rebounds in your career, and you were part of 4 District 9 championships, part of 4 KSAC championships, part of all this success, all these wins and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely nice because whenever I was like a freshman and a sophomore, when I came in, it was mostly to rebound and play defense, because we had Olivia and Mylee and Kaylin, and like they were there to score, and I didn't need to. But then when it came time for 11th and this year, then my points started coming, and that was really nice.
Yeah, and like I said, the success over these 4 years, kind of unprecedented. But again, we were talking about, it wasn't just them that started this. You had great teams before their senior year. Talk about how the program has really progressed. I mean, year after year, you're not rebuilding, you're reloading every year. You have these talented players coming up. You have talented players coming back next year.
Yeah, it started with that 2020 group. It had to build when we took over in 17-18. Took 3 years to get there, and then it happened, and then that just kind of set the. I think Jason Huffman would say it all the time. The standard is the standard. If you show me what it is, that's the the level we expect it to be. So then from there, that's just we get in the gym. They travel. Chris does a very good job of doing all the off-season stuff, the team camps, all the shootouts. So if kids are ready to commit, and we've had a really good crop of them, you're going to get opportunities to keep getting better the whole the off-season. So that's where the transition, happens. You can transcend to that next level of a player. So.
Yeah, like I said, he had made that great graphic of his last 4 years.
Yeah.
If you remember some of them, so I don't have to look it up. I know you had 90 wins. over these 4 years. Right?
Yeah, 90 and 20, which is insane. I
Honestly,
think it was the most in a 4-year run. If not, it definitely is 1 or 2. And then I think they were 72 and 3 against District 9 opponents. So like that's a heck of a 4-year run. They handled business at home and away. So it's been neat to see. Like I said earlier, like just watching the whole like 4-year window, kind of just play out.
Yeah. When you came in, both of you, the program was already at a pretty high level. Coach mentioned Olivia Huffman, Kaylin Rarick.
They've been Taylor Hindeleiter, Lauren Smith.
So the program was already ascending, so to speak. So how excited were you guys to come in and try to add to that? And how satisfied are you to hear those numbers that you guys put up, wins and losses and championships and all that jazz?
Yeah, we've always been high tempo, high energy, high competition. Like people, like AAU is just obviously all of that. Like it's just go. It's just competitiveness and everything like that. So to come into an atmosphere that's exactly like that, like he said, it was just the foundation was set, the standard was set, and we wanted to match that standard. We wanted to, be like the players that came right before us and the years right before us, and the ones that were still there, like you said, Olivia Huffman and some of those people. So we really enjoyed coming into a program that was already, had a really strong foundation, and we were just able to take off from there.
Kira, what were your thoughts about coming in and knowing you're going to be part of maybe something pretty special, which turned out to be very special?
I mean, yeah, it was nice because from AAU, we already knew, like, the tempo and all that, like, in the competition. So when we got there, it wasn't, like, anything new. We just know we had to keep working if we wanted to be as good as continue the legacy.
Yeah. Who was a player? Was there a player that on the team when you came up that you looked up to? Was there a player that kind of inspired you or really kind of took you under her wing to try to kind of mold you and bring you up through the program?
Yeah, I would probably say Olivia. I tried to like watch everything she did because I wanted to be like just like her when I was a little freshman. But yeah.
How about you, Mylee? I know Olivia was a big impact. Anybody else kind of show you the way or kind of really help you along?
Yeah, Riley Smathers was good my freshman year, and then I had obviously Olivia and Kaylin, and Riley Evans actually is a big one that's been there for me. She's still there for me. She's still a rock in my support system. I mean, everyone. I can't name one person that hasn't been welcoming. Everyone's just been, super supportive. And even when I came in, and I may have took some playing time from them, they still were on the bench clapping for me. They were still had my back, and that's something that I respect all of them for.
One more question before we take our next break. You mentioned the kind of the older players. You had a really good bond with those older players when you came in as a freshman, and they're still, I see Riley Evans at every game. I see her filling up your social media with congrats. So how special is that to have that support system? Because you came in and Riley Smathers and Riley Evans and Olivia Huffman, all those older girls really seemed to rally around you right from the start.
Yeah, I definitely felt like a little fish in a big sea, and then, there was all these girls that I wanted to be like, and I was intimidated, and like you said, they just came in, they took me under their wing. Riley Evans and Riley Smathers have always taken me to and from practice. Like, they've just, like, even the outside things, like, they would, obviously, like I said, just give me rides, sit by me if we did team bonding, and they just made me feel welcome, and I feel like that's, definitely what helped me mold into the team off the court, and then it transitioned to on the court, and then, like you said, Riley Evans, like, she's at every game. She put my, the little girl, like, I don't know if you saw the T-shirt she made.
I did.
But she put it on a T-shirt. She's just been so supportive, and I, couldn't praise her enough for how much of a great friend she is.
Well, we got to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to talk to you about some things I noticed you doing the same thing with some of the younger girls like Kennedy White. Right. So when we come back, we'll talk to these guys some more. This is the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show. I'm your host, Mike Kilroy, and we're with the Redbank Valley girls basketball team seniors and assistant coach Michael Dawson. We'll be back after this break. Thanks for joining us.
Need reliable plumbing or heating services? Call Luton's Plumbing and Heating. Fast, friendly, and available 24/7. Call them at 814-226-8695.
Hi, my name is Jason, and welcome to Sweet Basil. Come on in.
This game is brought to you by Tionesta Builders? No. Tionesta Builders Supply. Family owned and operated home improvement centers located in Tionesta and Shippenville.
Dubrook is your trusted ready-mix concrete supplier. From commercial to residential, Dubrook has you covered. Call 1-844-DUBROOK or visit dubrooking.com. Dubrook is proud to support our local communities. Dubrook, your solid choice in all things concrete.
Modern Living Solutions in Knox is always on the lookout for driven, positive individuals to join their team. They offer career growth opportunities and industry-leading pay. No experience is necessary as training is provided. Apply today and build a future with Modern Living Solutions.
Affordable opportunities are endless at Northern Pennsylvania Regional College. If you're looking to start next semester or next year, apply now at discovernprc.org. discovernprc.org.
Hello, welcome back to the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show. I'm Mike Kilroy, your host, and I'm with Mylee Harmon and Kira Bonanno and Michael Dawson of the Redbank Valley girls basketball team. We're having a great conversation here about their careers in this past season and really the past 6-7 seasons. But when we left off, you were talking about how the older players have really kind of rallied around you. I saw you rallying around some of the younger players like Kennedy White. I saw you sit down next to her in the bleachers before that Penns Manor game. You put your arm around her and asked her if she was okay. And I could read her lips. She said, "I'm really nervous." And you kind of talked her through it. So does it feel good to kind of see that flip side? Okay, now I'm the older player. I'm the veteran. I'm the senior. I'm the one putting my arm around the freshman that I used to be and helping her along.
Yeah, knowing how it felt, like whenever I was a freshman, they did that to me. Like it meant the world to me. Like that, seniors were taking the time to make sure I felt welcome. So to do that for her is really special. And obviously, I'm close with the Whites.
Yeah.
We're close. We're like all four of us are best friends. So to be able to help her whenever she's nervous, because I know those feelings, and I've lived through those nerves and everything the past 4 years. And although sometimes I don't like to say that I'm nervous, I am sometimes, and I could tell that she was. And the Quinn and Kira were nervous too. I had to give them a pep talk too, and it just feels nice to be able to give them a piece of what I'm thinking and just be able to help them through it too.
Yeah, and you had to walk on Quinn's back.
Yeah.
I guess that's a tradition. Speaking of traditions, yep. Kira does the braiding of the hair. When did that start? And seems to be something that you guys always did as your seasons compiled and you got older.
Yeah, I mean, I think we started in 9th grade, and I've done it like every game since for every season.
Yep, track too.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
I called you the most valuable braider for a reason, because Mylee said it was one of her superstitions. She always had to have her hair braided by you. So you said there was one game you didn't, but you went out and had a big game. So maybe that's okay. I know we have a moratorium. We can't talk about that last game, but we're going to have to talk about that last game just a little bit. Obviously, you knew it was going to come to an end at some point, and now that last game it came to an end. But how long did it take you to kind of? I know that was rough that night. How long did it take you guys to really process the emotions of that night?
Yeah, obviously that night was rough. I didn't sleep. I cried all night. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie to you. The next 2 days were rough. Like that weekend, it was just like. It was really, really rough, and I still can't bring myself back to watch the game. I don't know if I ever will, maybe when I'm like 20, but I don't know. But it's just been super hard. I still haven't fully grasped it. Like I'll see, people playing in gym fast basketball, and I'll just be like, wow, like I'm never gonna have the feeling of being on my home court, with all of the fans in the town that support us, and it's just that's never gonna happen again. So it's definitely one of the hardest things I've had to cope with.
Yeah, Kira, I'm sure you're probably pretty much the same. I know after the game you were pretty down and pretty devastated.
I mean, yeah, it definitely hurt. I mean, it hurt more because I feel like we didn't end it very well, because I feel like we could have won that game, to be honest, but nobody really played their game. So, I mean, after the game, it was just really disappointing. And then whenever I got home, it just kind of set in. Like, that was my last game with, like, two of my best friends, like Mylee and Quinn, and I'm never going to get to play with them again.
Yeah, I know you as a coaching staff were pretty devastated by that too. Like I made a comment, Chris Edmonds is usually the hardest person in the world to read. He's pretty much the same after a win, after a loss, but he was as despondent after that game as I've seen him in 4 years of covering you guys. But how did you? I know you went back and watched it, but how did you guys process it as coaching staff? Because you get really invested in this team and these girls and them, So it's gotta be hard for you guys too.
Yeah, I mean, as a player, we've been there when we played, and so like it's like Groundhog's Day. So like now as a coach, it's like you relive that same feeling after every end of the year loss. So like, it sucks.
Yeah.
So then I have to go back and watch it to like stat it out, and so I relive it. Every loss kind of it sits with you. You learn from it, so it doesn't make it better.
Is it one of those things too when you're watching it? You're kicking yourself a little bit, like, oh, there was something we could have done.
Yeah.
Oh, there was something we could have done. Oh, if we would only made this adjustment.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you can do that in wins too, but it stings a little bit more whenever you're watching it back, and you see some of that stuff. You're like, we just tweak a little bit this. If a ball doesn't like rattle in and out in the rim, then we you go up, we're not down, kind of thing. So it's just it is what it is. It's life.
Yeah, and I know, Mylee. I from covering you for 4 years, the triumphs you've had at state track and the disappointment you had as a sophomore. I know you'd really put a lot of pressure on yourself, and you take things really hard. Obviously, that makes you. I did a story about that. That kind of makes you different, right? That makes you're a different kind of breed. Kind of a double-edged sword, though, isn't it, in situations like that? Because it sounds like you had a really hard time.
Yeah. Yeah, I did have a really hard time, and like you were talking about states, like sophomore year when I lost, it was really hard for a while, but it ended up only making me work harder. And I feel like, obviously it's basketball and a track, so it's not the same sport, but this loss is just only going to make me work harder in track, and it's only going to make me work harder in college, and because I don't want to feel this type of sting anymore, and I don't want to, I don't want to lose like this anymore. So it's just going to fuel me for everything that I do athletically wise.
And it's got to be harder too, right? Because you're not playing basketball in college. Right. You're running track at Youngstown State. Congratulations for that, for earning that. I know that was something that kind of came a little late. I know you probably freshman, sophomore year thought you were going to play basketball at the next level, and then track blew up for you, and you kind of shifted gears. So I'm sure that made it a little harder too, knowing that you weren't going to have that basketball in your hands anymore in a pressure situation, with crowds in the game, and everything that goes with that, right?
Yeah, I was just talking about that with someone today at track practice. I said, the ending track this year is gonna hurt because obviously it's my last high school track ever. But I know I have 4 more years of it, and then if I decide to pursue it more after that, like I have track for the next 4 years, for the next however many years. And basketball, I never have it ever again, and it's just way harder to grasp that, to know that I put so much time in this the past 8 or 9 years of my life, and now it's just over.
Yeah, and Kira, your situation may be a little different. Obviously hard taking that loss, knowing that your high school career is over, but you want to play basketball at the next level. Mitigates it a little bit, or still took it pretty hard, I'm sure.
I mean, yeah, I still took it pretty hard. It was mostly because of like my friends, and I know I'm never going to get to play with them again. But I know like the next 4 years I'll get to play basketball. It's just different because I won't have them to play with me.
Yeah. How's that process going? I know there was a college coach at that Penns Manor game that talked to you. I know you're getting some people are kicking the tires a little bit. How's that going, and what are your kind of priorities when you're looking at schools to go play basketball?
I mean, I want to go for nursing, so the program is, it needs to have a good program if I want to go there. I'm thinking about going to Geneva or Mount Aloysius. So, I don't know, I just still have to decide.
Yeah. Decision coming soon, or are you kind of just going to make sure you make the right one and take some time to do that?
It should be soon. I've had time to think about it.
Yeah. And I know you made that decision to go to Youngstown State a little bit ago. Was that a hard decision, or was it pretty easy when all the dust settled around the recruiting process and everything?
Yeah, like you said, I didn't really decide that I wanted to do track in college until this past summer. And then once I started to get basketball emails, I just stopped looking at them because I made the decision. I was back and forth for like a year about it. I was like, I don't know. And then I decided, yes, track and college. So I just stopped looking at anything college for basketball. And then I just started I started emailing coaches. I started going to camps, obviously. And I had it down to like 3 or 4, but I was like, everywhere I went, it was always like, my mom went back to Youngstown. I compared everything to Youngstown. Yeah. So I just decided that's what my gut's telling me, so that was my final decision, yeah.
Yeah. When you made it, what kind of relief was that? Because I always hear, I talk to a million high school athletes, when they make that decision, it just feels like, eureka moment. It's like, like a light comes down on them, washes over them. Was that like that for you?
Yeah, for sure. And especially doing it, I wanted to get it done before the end of basketball because I knew it was going to get stressful, and I didn't want to have that extra stressor in my life. So to make that decision was definitely a weight lifted off my shoulders. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and Mylee's an athlete that doesn't come around very often. Mm-hmm. She came out and joined your girls soccer team as a senior, and was she first or second on the team in goals?
I think she was second.
Second behind Mylee Harmon.
Yeah.
But those two made such a big impact. I mean, what can you say about someone just comes out, decides to play soccer last year, and has the impact that she had?
It's convenient when a girl decides to play and she walks in and gets you 20 goals. Like, that's really nice and convenient for me as a coach. So like, it also made like everybody else's life a little easier. Like, Leah got some better looks. Iris, she got some better looks too because of it. Because if we got that many athletes, it's hard to kind of like game plan for one kind of girl. So it made my life easier, and I appreciated her coming out for sure.
Yeah, we always joke, Mylee. We always joke about, why don't you pick up this sport or this sport? Because you played volleyball for 3 years, and then you pivoted to soccer. What made you decide to pivot, and were you at all surprised that you made that kind of impact?
I don't really have a thing that made me decide to go to soccer. I just feel like volleyball, it wasn't my thing. It's too much standing around, and for me it's just not my thing, and I wanted more running. A lot of people hate running, but I just love running so much. So I was like, why don't I give soccer a try? And went back and forth with my mom. Was like, well, I could get injured for basketball, but you can get injured doing whatever, like slipping on ice, and you can fall and tear your ACL. Like, you can do it.
I know that.
Yeah. I mean, you can get injured doing whatever. So I just decided to do it, and then I ended up having a lot of fun, and it was the best decision I could have made.
When did you realize when you were playing soccer that, hey, you know what, I'm pretty good at this? And when was the last time you played? I know I did a story on you when you came out, but it was a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did like half a year in like 7th grade or something like that. I know it wasn't a full year, and I know it wasn't very long. I think I tried it, and then I ended up doing something else, but it wasn't very long. It was just like a month or two. I just dabbled in it real quick.
Yeah. I'm sure you picked the brain of your brother Owen, who was a really good soccer player in his own right, and a really good athlete in his own right at Redbank Valley.
Something about Owen. I never had a left hand, and then in basketball, and then one day we went out, outside to our hoop, and he taught me how to do a left-handed layup, and then all of a sudden I was more comfortable going left than I was right. Mm-hmm. And Chris, actually, Coach Chris, he thought I was left-handed until halfway through sophomore year. He's like, "You're left-handed, right?" And I'm like, "No, I'm right-handed." So, kudos to him for that. And like you said about soccer, he was just, an athlete. He could do it all in soccer. So, I picked his brain some, like you said, and learned from him, and was able to get some tips.
Yeah, and Kira, you know something about having an athletic brother, Kobe. Obviously, a great player in his own right at Redbank Valley football. He was a running back. He was a fullback in high school. Now he's a nose tackle, and one of the best nose tackles in the PAC. I know we talked about this in the past too, about how much of an influence he's had on you. Talk about that a little bit, because I know he really kind of helped you get that mentality to go up and get rebounds, that mentality of grinding and never giving up.
I mean, yeah, like I used to look up to him when I was little, and I was like, I want to be like him. I want to, like, he played all the sports. I want to do sports, and I just want, like, yeah. But I mean, like, he does like the dirty work, if you would say.
Yeah.
And I mean, you don't always get recognition for that, and I think, I mean, I do a lot of that too, like rebounding, playing defense, and you don't always get like your name in the paper for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, watching him, like, I don't know, like destroy people and go at it, I mean, that made me want to do it too.
He does quite a bit of that at Grove City. He is definitely a destroyer. So having older brothers, probably difficult growing up with an older brother, right? But also now you're probably pretty grateful to have an older brother. Obviously, Owen probably should get credit for some of those 2,000 points, teaching you that left hand, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, like, whenever you're younger, you fight all the time, and it's whatever. But at the end of the day, like, you have like a built-in best friend, and I mean, even if you aren't like, with each other all the time, like you always have someone, and I feel like that's like, something special, because not everyone has that. Not everyone is close with their siblings, and to have that in the, like you said, the athletic way, and even just like, like I said, the best friend way. It's just really nice to have that support.
All right, we're gonna take another break. When we come back, we're gonna do the Durstein prize wheel with Kira, and then we're going to talk about unpack some of these outrageous numbers that you guys put up in your career, with a special thank you to Michael Dawson here for compiling all these great statistics. It's been a godsend for everyone in the media. So this is the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show. This is I'm Mike Kilroy, your host. This is the Redbank Valley girls basketball team, and when we come back, we'll talk some more with these athletes. That outro. A little bit. I lost my train of thought.
You hit Redbank Chevy, you're all right.
Yeah, I almost said Valley. That's why I stopped. I went Redbank Chevrolet.
You can afford a gorgeous, custom-designed hardwood Kales kitchen for a lot less than you'd pay at a DIY store. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. At Kales, there are never middleman markups or hidden charges that can add 40%. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. That's FactoryDirectKitchens.net.
At Clarion County Community Bank, you're more than just a number. With personalized service and modern conveniences, they make banking easy. Clarion County Community Bank, where community comes first.
Eyes are the window to your soul, so take care of them. The Laurel Eye Clinic provides complete care from annual exams, glasses and contacts to cataract and retinal surgery, LASIK, and more. As a trusted leader in family eye care for 50 years, you can trust them with yours. Call or visit us online today.
Need reliable plumbing or heating services? Call Luton's Plumbing and Heating. Fast, friendly, and available 24/7. Call them at 814-226-8695.
Hi, my name is Jason, and welcome to Sweet Basil. Come on in.
This game is brought to you by Tionesta Builders? No, Tionesta Builder Supply. Family-owned and operated home improvement centers located in Tionesta and Shippenville.
Dubrook is your trusted ready-mix concrete supplier. From commercial to residential, Dubrook has you covered. Call 1-844-DUBROOK or visit DuBrooking.com. Dubrook is proud to support our local communities. Dubrook, your solid choice in all things concrete.
Modern Living Solutions in Knox is always on the lookout for driven, positive individuals to join their team. They offer career growth opportunities and industry-leading pay. No experience is necessary as training is provided. Apply today and build a future with Modern Living Solutions.
Affordable opportunities are endless at Northern Pennsylvania Regional College. If you're looking to start next semester or next year, Apply now at discovernprc.org. discovernprc.org.
Hello, welcome back to the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show. We're at the Durstein Prize Wheel with Kira Bonanno, and see what you win. Give it a good spin. Sardines, 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 sardines. Oh, I want to go to sardines. Oh, we're going to get it because, nope, we're going to get, oh, no Taylor Swift book. That belongs to Jace Ferguson. Spin again. Okay. And you got a dance party. Are we going to do the dance party? Oh. How about spin again? Let's spin again. No one wants to dance today. Cousin Basil gift card. Oh. No, we'll go Cousin Basil gift card. Good job. No bankruptcy in this casino. All right, let's go back here and talk some more about the great careers you guys have had. All right. Again, thank you, Michael Dawson, for compiling all these statistics for not just this year, but their whole careers. Mylee, 2,066 points. I know after last season, early this season, we talked. You're like, well, you know, it's kind of out there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it. When did you start realizing that, okay, I have a really good shot at the 1,997 points for the school record in the 2,000, which is, you know, one of the best, greatest milestones a basketball player can get?
Yeah, obviously it wasn't the main goal. The main goal was KSAC and district champions, and then to make it as far as we can in states. But the 2000 was, I'm not gonna lie, it was always in the back of my mind, you know, and I didn't really think it was that possible until I really got under 100, and I was like, oh wait, like, and then I kind of started like calculating the average, and I was like, okay, like I just need this many, and but I never like shot for that. I just like after the game, I'd be like, okay, how many I had, like how close am I? Because I wanted to know how close I was to the record, and then, you know, going into that district championship game, whenever, and I was just like, I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna do whatever I can, because, you know, if I'm scoring, obviously I'm helping the team, and, you know, we come out with a 4P district championship. So just to be able to, you know, accomplish that is something that I never thought I would ever do.
Yeah, that was such a weird circumstance in that game. You pick up 2 fouls in the first, I think, minute of that game, and it's looking pretty dire, not just for yourself, but for the team. You know, we don't want to have Mylee Harmon with 2 fouls in the first minute of a game. But after that, it was like a spigot got turned on, and you just point after point after point. A, were you surprised that you were able to get that, not only get that in that game, but get it in the first half? I think you needed like 23 points, 26 points to get those 2, and you were able to do that in the first half in a championship game on Tippin Jim's floor.
Yeah.
Pretty special performance that night.
Yeah, going into the game, like I said, I knew I was going to be close, so it was either that game or we were going to have a home state playoff game. So I was either like, well, if I get it at Tippin, yeah, cool. If I get it at home, yeah, that's great. Like, it was either one, so I didn't have too much pressure on myself. And like you said about the fouls, like one of the main things going in that game was like, I cannot get fouls early. And then I did, and I was like, I said to our coach Edmonds, I was like, hey, dude, I'm good. Like, you're going to take me out. I was like, I won't foul, I promise. And then it was just like a light switch turned on, and then I just, you know, it like I was shot out of cannon from then on.
Yeah, it was pretty special to watch that performance. As coaches, when you saw that, were you like, oh, she's possessed. We're going to win this game. She's just absolutely possessed this game.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like whenever like you can see a player's like really like clicking and rolling and doing everything, and it seems like that they're doing everything, and then everything seems to be going, you know, well for them as it's happening. And that happened to her a couple times this year too. At Union, it went like that. Yeah. And then at the in that title game, you know, the 2 fouls I think made her take a breath and kind of like relax a little bit more, so she wasn't as high strung, and it just it settled her in. And I think that it was fun to watch.
Yeah, over 600 points she scored this year, which is a school record. School record for career assists. School record for career steals. I think you had 9 30-point games in your career. I think, 20-point games just this season alone, right? Or was that for, no, it had to be this season.
Yeah,
right?
it was one of last season to this season for sure.
So when you hear those numbers, what goes through your head?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a great accomplishment, but obviously the points don't just come by myself. Like, a lot of great passes from a lot of great teammates are thrown in there, and, you know, a lot of steals, a lot of rebounds from Kira, you know, second chances, like, you know, outlet passes from Quinn. You have all of those that factor into that. So, yeah, I'm the one scoring, and, yeah, I went in my favor a lot of the time, whether I was in the right position, you know, at the right time, or whatever it was. But I was surrounded by a lot of great players the last 4 years, and I couldn't have done any of those accomplishments without them.
Yeah, and Kira, you had your own great accomplishments this year. You went over 500 career rebounds, ended up with 666. What does that mean to you? Not just that. Now that number we were talking about maybe bumping up to 667 to kind of get you off of that number, but still, that's a lot of rebounds, especially considering you didn't really start playing major minutes until last season.
I mean, yeah, it means a lot, especially since I pretty much got it in like 2 years. Since I didn't play a whole lot in my freshman and sophomore year, but I mean, like I said, whenever I came in my freshman and sophomore year, that's what I was in for. So then whenever I kept like growing up, it just kept sticking with me. Like I wanted to get rebounds all the time.
Yeah, and you added some scoring this year, and you got some other ancillary stuff. But obviously, the team success, right? That's what it was all about. What does that mean to you to have all those gold medals, the trophies in the trophy case at the school, all that stuff? It's got to feel great because you can go in that school 20 years from now and see all that stuff and know that you got a part in that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. Ever since we walked in 9th grade, like we had a winning team. So, I mean, we didn't ever play on like a losing team. So, I mean, it was really special to play on a team that like won so much.
Yeah, the winning. Is it one of those things where do you realize now how special that is? Or is that going to be 2, 3, 10, 20 years down the road when you look back and go, man, look at all the stuff we did?
Right. I feel like going through the seasons, you kind of take it for granted. Like, oh, it's just another win. Oh, it's just another win. But then you look at other teams and they're like, I wonder how they would feel to be able to have this many wins. And, we are the people that are doing this winning, and how many people are looking up to us, and how many people are like, wow, like, I wish we could win like that. And I wish we could have that whatever record, the 90-20 or whatever he said it was. But, like, and I feel like it's settled in now. I realize, wow, like, that's a lot of winning. But I feel like as I, like, get out of this, funk I'm in because of losing my last game, I feel like it'll settle in a lot better.
Yeah, it's hard to get out of that funk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it will be 2, 3, 10, 20 years from now. When
Very
you go
well could be.
When you go back in there. Obviously Mylee mentioned all the great teammates you have. How much fun was it kind of enjoying this with all of them? Because you had a really good mix over these 4 years, really this year too, a really good mix of players.
I mean, yeah, I felt like every year, Mylee and I usually stuck together, but we found like other people on the team that we would like bring into our group, and we would always like do stuff out of practice, and we would have fun. Especially this year, it's been one of the best with Quinn because we're all like really close. We're like best friends.
Yeah, how big of a pickup was getting Quinn back, right? I know she really added a lot to your team this year, getting her back. She said she missed it, but she also said there was a little bit of recruiting going on from the team.
Yeah. Whenever I wasn't sure if she was gonna come back last year, and I kind of texted her a couple times. And I was like, hey, like coming back. She's like, oh, I'm thinking about it, and then just kind of let it go. And then I texted her again this year, and she's like, yeah, I'm actually thinking about it. And I'm like, oh, great. And then, the first couple of games, obviously they were rough, which they're gonna be rough.
Oh yeah.
Like, she didn't really play that big of a role. She was kind of just like there. She kind of just, got her minutes, got comfortable, and then as the season went on, she started hitting a lot of threes, especially in the KSAC championship. She had an amazing game. She did a lot of rebounding for us whenever. Kira, she got a lot, but Quinn picked up a few too that were key, and I'm just very glad that she came back.
Yeah, as coaches, you're probably like thrilled to have her back because you were losing Izzy, and she really stepped a little bit into that Izzy role where Izzy got a lot of rebounds last year and hit some threes and did a lot of that stuff, the same stuff that Quinn did this year.
Yeah, it's she had a very strong freshman year. She took this the sophomore year off to kind of focus on softball, and that's worked out in her favor. But it's nice to have her back too, because it kind of just like you'd said, we lost Izzy, and then Quinn came in and kind of like stabilized what we had missed whenever she had graduated. So like we got the rebounds, we got the scoring back, and it's just she definitely, once she got her feet underneath her again, it was. By the end of the year, it was just like she was her freshman year again too.
Yeah, you could see every game, especially down the stretch, getting more and more confident in her shot, getting more and more, getting quicker, getting to the right spots, kind of getting that basketball acumen back. Obviously, these two are going to be impossible to replace, right? You can't replace a Mylee Harmon and a Kira Bonanno. But how do you do it? How do you try to? Because you want to keep this program rolling, right? You don't want it to end with these guys. You want to keep it going like it did with didn't end with Olivia and those girls when they graduated.
Yeah, they're a little too modest. They were doing stuff that hasn't been done since like the 90s. So,
Yeah.
like,
True.
like Kira's grabbing rebounds that hasn't been seen since like '94, and like it was cool to watch Mylee chase players that her mom would have played with. Like that was a kind of cool thing. But yeah, coming back, I think the group we've got coming back is going to be good. You know, I think the biggest thing is like they're excited for like the bigger opportunity that's now in front of them. So like,
yeah,
they'll be able to step into some leadership roles. You kind of saw that a little bit this year with some of the underclassmen getting a little bit more comfortable with everything. And I think the group moving up as well is also going to help us too, that are coming in as 9th graders. So it should be another fun year for sure.
And what would your guys' message be to the girls that are coming back? Like if you could tell them one or two things, like, hey, this so-and-so, what would you tell them going into next year?
One thing I would say is a lot of people they're going to be good at basketball, but what separates you is going in on the off days and going in whenever I texted Guido and I said, hey, can we go in and shoot? And I don't know what he was doing on his Sunday, but he would always drop whatever he was doing to go in. And that's what really sets you apart, and that's what really gets you the 4 district championships and the goals, the points that you want to reach, the everything. And it's just going in and working on your own. And another thing I would just say is enjoy every little thing, because once it's gone, it's really gone, and it's hard to deal with.
Yeah. How about you, Kira? What would you say to the returning players to try to help them keep this train rolling down the tracks?
I mean, yeah, like she said, like don't let it fly by, because it definitely goes fast. Like 1 minute.
We lost our logo. That's right. Keep going.
1 minute you're like a freshman, and then the next it's senior night, and you're
Yeah.
it's gonna be your last game. And then I would also say be confident, because I know whenever I was a freshman, I definitely was like, I was really bad with confidence, and I still not the best, but I've gotten a lot better. Like everyone makes mistakes, and you have to realize that, and once you get comfortable with that, it helps you in the long run.
Yeah, you mentioned, enjoy the little things. What are some of the little things that you're going to remember long after this? Yeah.
I mean, just messing around, like whenever we were allowed to at practice, stuff like that, and then the Joes before games, and the spontaneous things you'll do with individual groups of friends. And it's just, and I mean, even practice in general, like if Coach Chris will let us play songs and just having fun with that, having fun making a drill fun. Whenever we do 2-ball shooting, everyone hates it, but like if you can find a way to make it fun, that's really what you'll remember.
Yeah. How about you, Kira? What are some of the little things that you're gonna miss and remember about playing basketball at Redbank Valley?
I mean, yeah, definitely like going out to eat with the team, and like definitely like the summer camps, especially this year's summer camp was like really fun. And like, I mean, like doing stuff outside of basketball too with like the team. I mean, you make friends there that you're never gonna make.
Yeah. And Mylee, you got a track season coming up. Obviously, you're coming off of a runner-up, finished in the 300-meter hurdles last year at the state track meet after picking up the hurdles, a month before the state track meet. Now you're going to have a whole off-season, a whole year to do it. Sky's the limit for you, right? What are your goals? What are you hoping to accomplish? Because you ran some scintillating times. That state time you ran was great, and it happened when you were struggling over those last couple of hurdles. So obviously you feel like you cleaned that up, right?
Yeah.
Things are going to go a lot better for you this year. You must be really excited.
I am. Definitely a lot of form work is in my future for hurdles, because I have the speed. Obviously, I was a 400 runner for 3 years, so the speed is there, but the form is definitely what I need work on, and that's what I tried doing today. And it was going okay, but I feel like nothing most excited for districts and seeing what can happen at states. I'm not going to say that I have my goal set out to win, because I mean I do, but that's going to put a target on my back like usual. So I just seeing how far I can go is just whatever.
Well, you seem to do well with a target on your back.
I do.
Though.
I like
right?
pressure. I like the target on my back.
Yeah.
So if it's there, it's there. I'm going to use it.
Yeah, I remember last year at the state track meet, you were watching all the hurdlers warm up, and you were like trying to mimic them because you had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah, they were doing drills that I've never seen before.
Did you learn some of those drills? Or are you going to be able to do them now this year?
Yeah, usually I just go, all right, let's go jump over some hurdles. But now I realize that it takes some technique, and you got to do some form things before, and it does help. But I'm just learning the ways hurdling.
Yeah. So what other events are you going to run this year?
I haven't set anything in stone, but 100, 200. High or long jump, haven't decided yet. I might try the shorter distance, the 100 hurdles, maybe some 800 here and there. whatever I get into.
You should. We talked about this too. You should pick maybe one or two meets where you just try to do every event and see what you can do, right?
Every
just
event
establish a time.
Yeah.
Establish it. No, you got to do that too. Do everything.
Oh.
Establish a time. Establish a standard.
Yeah.
And so you can say, I did all these events in high school. This was all my times, and see how you stack up. Just doing like do the 2 mile once. See what you run.
We'll
yes
see
or
about
no?
that.
Well, we ran 2 miles or more on the soccer field, right?
Yeah.
So you can
Yeah,
do it.
when Guido would make us dribble 2 laps of the ball because we messed up a drill.
So sounds like you were a taskmaster out there.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna ask you one more thing. We're gonna take a break. I'm gonna ask you one more thing, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna kind of wrap things up. But I want to ask you both this. Let's see if I can word this right. Who was the funniest player on the team this year? Like, who cracked you guys up more than anybody else? And now we have a lot of dead time here as Mylee's thinking. You're going to set off the fire alarm with all the smoke coming out of your head.
Yeah. I think I'd have to give it to Quinn. I mean, it's just.
She strikes me
and
as
not even just because she was trying. Like, her personality, it's just funny. Like, she's just a funny person, fun to be around, and she made practices fun. Like, I would give it to Quinn.
And for you, Coach, who was the player that you had the hardest time kind of reeling in during practice? Someone maybe a little.
I think, with those two together, sometimes it gets it kind of snowballs a little bit. Everybody does a little bit of it. Everybody does a little bit of that.
All right, well, this is the Redbank Valley. It's not Redbank Valley. It's a Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show. I knew we were going to owe you $1. We had a bet I was going to say it. Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show. I'm Mike Kilroy, your host. When we come back, we're just going to wrap things up. We're here with seniors from the Redbank Valley girls basketball team, Mylee Harmon and Kira Bonanno, and assistant coach Michael Dawson.
You can afford a gorgeous, custom-designed hardwood Kales kitchen for a lot less than you'd pay at a DIY store. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. At Kales, there are never middleman markups or hidden charges that can add 40%. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. That's FactoryDirectKitchens.net.
At Clarion County Community Bank, you're more than just a number. With personalized service and modern conveniences, they make banking easy. Clarion County Community Bank, where community comes first.
Eyes are the window to your soul, so take care of them. The Laurel Eye Clinic provides complete care from annual exams, glasses and contacts to cataract and retinal surgery, LASIK, and more. As a trusted leader in family eye care for 50 years, you can trust them with yours. Call or visit us online today.
Need reliable plumbing or heating services? Call Luton's Plumbing and Heating. Fast, friendly, and available 24/7. Call them at 814-226-8695.
Hi, my name is Jason, and welcome to Sweet Basil. Come on in.
This game is brought to you by Tionesta Builders? No, Tionesta Builder Supply. Family-owned and operated home improvement centers located in Tionesta and Shippenville.
Dubrook is your trusted ready-mix concrete supplier. From commercial to residential, Dubrook has you covered. Call 1-844-DUBROOK or visit DuBrooking.com. Dubrook is proud to support our local communities. Dubrook, your solid choice in all things concrete.
Hi, we were just having a conversation. You're welcome back. We're having fun here. We're going to wrap things up now. This is the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show. I'm Mike Kilroy, your host. Mylee Harmon, Kira Bonanno, Michael Dawson. Before we go, I want to ask you one more thing. What did it mean to you to wear that Redbank Valley jersey for 4 years? You can go first, Kira.
I mean, it was definitely special because, I mean, not just in basketball, but like other sports,
Yeah.
our school has been pretty good at, I would think. I think.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah.
That's good. That's a good
Like,
answer.
yeah, like to add to what she said, I feel like we've been a powerhouse in football recently. You know, baseball did good last year. Like basketball, obviously, we've been a powerhouse the past however many years. So to wear the jersey means a lot, and to really add on to the legacy that already had been started, like we had mentioned a couple times, to continue that legacy, and now we're gonna pass it down to future people that hopefully can wear the jersey with respect like we did, and be able to further the program like we did. That'll mean a lot to us.
Yeah, as coaches, what does it mean to have excellent, not just excellent athletes, but excellent human beings on these teams?
Yeah, it's I mean, it just makes life easier, like if they're there to work and, they put in the time, which they have, and, and they're going to see the rewards on the other end of it. But, if they're also, like you said, like genuine people, like it also makes it feel a little bit better whenever you get to see them achieve what they were able to achieve during those 4 years.
All right. Well, that'll conclude the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show. I want to thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for joining us. I know you guys have busy schedules still. You got track, you got club AAU, right? Or club basketball going on and everything. Good luck with all of that. So thanks again for joining us. This has been the Main Street Sports Show, sponsored by Redbank Chevrolet and also by Dubrook. Thanks again for joining us.